Alright, so today on another spot at Indiana Dunes. This is the Upland Trail at Pinhook Bog. So this area is actually close to LaPorte. It's further inland. I didn't even know this is an actual part of the park system. But yeah, there's an actual bog trail that starts out on that side of the lot. But that's only for guided tours right now, and I doubt they're doing any this close to winter. But I'm gonna do the big long Upland Trail loop. Probably not gonna see too much because it's getting close to winter time and most everything's dead out here, or dormant. But still, I wanted to check it out. I hadn't been here before. Figured it'd be a good use of my time at home. The trail right now is like halfway between being frozen and thawed. So there's some spots where it's still pretty slippery and I've like felt my foot shift, but there's also these patches of ice. They're pretty well packed and easy to walk on. This area of the park seems to be another one of the spots that's probably best to check out in the summertime, just because there's a lot of plant life out here that, I mean, you just aren't gonna see in any real capacity during the colder times of year. But there's some pretty cool dynamic ecosystem shifts around here. I mean, this looks like a beech maple forest that it's switching to right now. There's a squirrel over there. Coming out of like the boggier areas. Actually, this is an upland area, but it's shrubbier and everything. But it's cool. I like seeing those delineations in the ecosystems, the ecotypes. It's a pretty neat spot here. It's one of the creeks. Eventually starts draining into the bog down that way. Now we can kind of see more into the bog. You can kind of see the reflections of the water down there. It's hard to see through the trees. I don't know exactly how close we'll get, but hopefully a little bit closer. I'm probably at least halfway around the bog now, but there's a cool little stand of some older pines on the side. I always love walking through pine trees. These are white pines. So pretty. The age of the trees around here is pretty diverse, but there are some really big trees out here. I mean, I'm standing right at the base of this big tulip tree. I've seen a few pretty big ones. This is like a double over here. Both of them are quite big. I think the tulip trees are the biggest ones out here, but it's cool to see. Here's another giant twin tulip tree. I mean, imagine if that had just grown as one tree. That had to have been two seedlings that grew at the same time. But also I realized that I'm getting pretty close to the water down here. There's two sides of it. It must either run through a stream over here or there's a culvert underneath. Yeah, this is the bog itself. I read somewhere that there's mats of sphagnum moss that grow out here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I don't know how hardy sphagnum is over winter, but it's cool to see the water at least. So the ice is actually pretty thick right now, so I'm gonna try and toss a couple rocks on it, see if I can make the ray gun sound you always hear in those videos. A little bit, see if I can do it with a bigger one. It's pretty fun. So that's the lake that I was tossing airplane. tossing the stones on. There's actually a bit of a berm here next to the bridge where this part of the bog is draining into that one. I wonder if it was old or, I mean, I guess could be new beaver dam. That would block this off. But yeah, it's like a 5-foot drop, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, this spot seems like it would be a cool area of the park to check out if you want to see some interesting, I guess this could be considered dune ecology. It's just so far inland that it's not a part of the current dune system. I mean, I'm just north of LaPorte right now. Probably 5 to 10 miles away from the beach still, but it seems like an area of the park that not a lot of people would come to. Most people are gonna go to the dunes for the beach itself and stuff like that, so definitely a cool spot to avoid the crowds. Well, heading back to the car now. I forgot I had my map on me, so I'll show you guys. Here's Michigan City up here, Mount Baldy Beach. I've always considered that like the eastern side of the park. Once you're there, then it's just the rest of the shoreline. But Pinhook Bog is all the way down here to the right. So it's pretty far away from the rest of the park. The Heron Rookery is another spot that I should go to sometime, but yeah, just to give you guys some sort of reference as to where it's at. It also said on the map that the bog itself was put there from glacial ice that melted in that spot, so it's kind of just its own separate thing. Just a little ice deposit that melted there and has stayed there since the end of the Ice Age, so it's pretty cool. Shows why it's such a unique ecosystem.